Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brianna. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to curl your hair both with a clamp curling iron and with a straightener. Oftentimes when I post videos, I get some comments of people asking or stating that they don't know how to curl their hair. Oh, this is a very cute hairstyle, but I don't know how to curl my hair. Well, so we're gonna show you the basics today because I feel like in order to do a lot of the hairstyles that I post, a lot of people wanna know, how do I just curl my hair to begin with, because I can't even do that. So without making this intro too long, we're gonna get straight into the video. Most people, when they curl their hair, if they don't know how to use a clamp or if they don't know how to use a straightener, they use a wand, because this is the most basic way to curl your hair if you don't know how to do it. With a wand, usually you would take a piece of hair and you just wrap the hair around the wand like this. And that's the easiest way to curl your hair if you don't know how to use a clamp or a straightener. If you're going to be using a clamp curling iron, there are different sizes. I have 3 sizes here. This is the biggest size that I have, and then this is the most basic size. This is like your average size. I think it's about an inch curling iron. And then I also have this very teeny tiny curling iron that I have used before in a couple videos, and it takes forever to curl my hair with this curling iron. When you are using your clamp curling iron, there are a few things to note. Many people say, well, when I use a clamp curling iron, I always get a kink in my hair. And that's probably because you are not twisting the correct way. You have to twist with the hair, not against the hair. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Before I do anything, I am going to section my hair, because when you curl your hair, you don't have to section it, but if you have thicker hair like I do, then you'll want to section it just so that way you make sure you're not missing any pieces, and it's just a little bit easier, but you don't have to, of course. My curling iron is not on yet, so I'm just going to demonstrate how to do it before I turn the curling iron on, so that way I'm not frying my hair by going so slow. You're going to take a section of hair. Now, depending on your hair density and your hair texture will also depend on how big of a section you want to take. If you don't know the difference between hair texture and hair density, please comment below, because I really have been thinking about making a video, because I see so many people online using the terms interchangeably or just not using them correctly. Because my hair is fine but it's thick, I do tend to take a little bit smaller sections, but not tiny, because that we don't need to be ridiculous, right? You're going to take a section of hair. You're going to open up your curling iron. I'm going to be showing you how to curl away from your face. When you're curling away from your face, the clamp should be on top. So as you can see here, the clamp is on top of the hair. This would be an example of your clamp being behind your hair. If you're going to curl away from your face, you do not want the clamp away from your facing the back. This is because when you go to turn your curling iron, this is where you're getting the kink. Make sure when you're curling away from your face that the clamp is on top. You're going to start in the middle. So do not start at the end. You can start at the top if you want, but the way I curl it, it's much easier if we start in the middle. The reason why we don't start at the end is because when you start at the end, you're putting all the heat on the tips of your hair, on the very ends of your hair. The very ends of your hair are typically the pieces of hair that are the most damaged, because they've been on your head the longest. So by leaving the tips on the heat for the longest period of time, you're going to cause more damage, because as you roll up, your hair, this hair, is now kind of wrapped on top of the other hair, so you're not distributing the heat evenly. The bottoms, the tips of your hair, are going to be very curly, whereas the tops of your hair are going to be more loose. Starting in the middle, there are 2 ways you can do it. There's more than 2 ways, but I'm going to show you 2 ways. The first way you can do it is by putting your hair inside the curling iron, twisting downwards, rolling up. I like to grab the end, because sometimes the barrel and the clamp aren't so close at the bottom, and then the hair falls out of the curling iron. So I grab the tip and then I go down and then I roll back up like this. This ensures that the hair is getting a little bit more even heat distribution. You're not putting all the heat just on the tip right away. And when you unravel, you can either just unclamp, or when you unravel, you can also pull like this if you want more of a straight end. Depends on your preference, what you like. The other way that many hairstylists curl hair, I've also curled my hair like this in a couple videos. You take a section of hair, you put it inside the curling iron, you go down, you roll up, and instead of going down again right away, you take the curling iron and you go underneath like that. So you have this little twist in your hair. And then you roll down, you go up, you go underneath, you go down, roll up, underneath. And then once you get to the end, you can again either just undo the clamp or you can pull it down. So those are the two main ways that I use a clamp curling iron. And you can do both these methods, whether it's with a tiny teeny one or whether it's with a big clamp like that. Make sure that you are, before we start actually curling our hair, I'm going to apply some heat protectant. I'm going to show you one side with one technique, one side with the other technique, and then we will do the straightener. You're going to take your curling iron. My curling iron is at 140 degrees Celsius. You don't need it as hot as it can go. Okay, we just need some heat. Take your section of hair, and like I said, we're starting in the middle. You're going to go downwards, roll up, then you can grab your little tip, roll downwards, roll up, and then one more time just to make sure. And then you just let it sit, and then release. And this is your curl. So I'm not going to brush it, I'm not going to touch it, I'm just going to leave it. I'm not putting any product, nothing, I'm just letting it sit there. You're going to now do the same thing, start in the middle, roll up, go down, roll up. So now I'm gonna roll down and up. And again, you're just going to let it sit for a couple seconds. I would say 10, 20 seconds is okay. And then you unravel. We're going to take our last section, and again, starting in the middle, rolling down, roll up. This is our first side with the first technique. I'm going to show you the other technique on this side. We're going to start again in the middle. You're doing the same thing, rolling upwards after you started in the middle, and we're gonna go underneath, grab your end, go down, roll up. Once you get to this twist, don't keep continuing to roll. Again, go underneath, go down, roll up. Here's your twist, so stop rolling. And then you're just going to finish like this. Right away, you can see with the different techniques that they are a little bit different in length. This piece does go a little bit longer and these pieces are a little bit more shrunk, but of course it just depends on what you like and what you prefer. Everybody has their own preference. I'm gonna show you again. We are going to start in the middle and you're going to twist away from your face, rolling down, rolling up, and then we're going to go underneath and you're gonna grab the bottom, go down. Once you get to that twist, you're going to stop, go underneath, go down, roll up. Once you get to the twist, you're gonna stop, and then you're going to finish like this. So now we're going to do our last piece. Okay, so these are both sides finished. You can see that the left side is longer than the right side. So when you use this technique, you are keeping more length with your curls. When you use the other technique, you're keeping less length. So I let both sides cool down a bit. I'm now going to go in. I'm going to do the same thing for everything. I'm just going to go in with my fingers and kind of brush through the curls just so you can see how they look once they've been brushed out. Because obviously I'm gonna have to go in with the straightener. All the curls are gonna look different. So I wanna show you the end result because my whole head is gonna look wild with all these different curls. These are the two different results. The main differences between these two curls are the length. You can tell that this side is a little bit longer than the other side, and pretty much that's it. There's no right or wrong, so whichever you prefer. So for the top section, I'm going to be showing you how to curl your hair with a straightener. So you might be thinking, oh, I don't even have a curling iron. I only have a straightener. I always straighten my hair. Or maybe you've seen people curling their hair online with a straightener and you've just always wanted to know how. I'm going to show you how. It's actually very simple. So if you want to do it this way, then you can try. I'm going to show you first, of course, without any heat on. What you're going to do, same as before, you're going to take a decently smaller section. I find that with the straightener, when I take too big of a section, it just doesn't work out. Start at the top. You're going to go down a little bit, and as you go down, you're going to turn the straightener. And then once you do a full turn, you can go downwards and just pull until you get to the end. So you pull downwards, and as you pull down, you can either go straight or you can continue to turn. And I'll show you the difference between if you only turn one time and pull versus if you turn and continue turning throughout the time that you're pulling the hair downwards. Okay, so we're going to take our straightener and we're going to turn one time and pull downwards. And then we're going to do the same thing. Take a section of hair, turn, and pull downwards. That is what the curls look like when I've curled them with the straightener, turning one time and pulling. I don't find this technique to be the best technique. When I do it, I prefer to do it this way, which is the way I'm going to show you right now. And you can always start turning sooner. So you can start turning as soon as you're at the root if you want a little bit more of a curl. And if you continue turning, it will also give you more of a curl up top. So if you start at the root, you're turning at the root and you pull and you just keep turning. And I just feel like that gives you more of an even curl. These curls, sometimes when it gets stuck in the middle, it leaves you a straight spot before it curls the bottom again. So again, you can start at the top, start curling at the root, and just continuously turn the curling iron. So these are the two techniques finished. We'll brush them out gently just so you can see. So my preference is, of course, this side. I feel like it gives you a more even curl when you continuously turn the curling iron. If I'm honest, I don't really prefer to curl my hair with a straightener at all. I would go for a clamp curling iron. And if I'm going to be using a straightener to curl my hair, I am going to be doing this technique where I'm continuously turning the curling iron. But if you like this technique, or if you already do this technique, then keep doing what works for you, because what works for me isn't going to work for everybody, but this is just what I like to do. So I am very interested to see how you curl your hair. If you already have a technique that you like to use, then please comment below which technique do you prefer to use. If you learned something new, then also comment below. I hope this video was super helpful for everybody because I really enjoyed making this video actually. If If you want to see more how-to videos, then comment below what I should do next. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. If you want to see more videos from me, then you can of course follow me on my Instagram and TikTok. They are both at Brianna Bapper. I'm posting every single day. I hope you guys have a great day, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in my next video.